Welcome back to another starting lineup along with Keefer. I'm Tony Kurre. We're on every single Saturday morning right here, 10:30, 11 o'clock on ABC 3340. A ton to get into today on the big show. Of course, Keefer, your son, Las Vegas son, he's going to be picking some great games. He's been on fire. Of course, you go to K4wins.com. You can check out all of our games. We have actually four of us. We all start with K's.
Yes.
We've got Kai, we've got Case Keefer, we got Keefer, we got Tony Curry. We've been picking games out of Wazoo the last, say, 12, 13 months. We've been unbelievable. And, of course, a little bit later on as well, we also have the legend in the Big Cave. So we also got SEC baseball tournament going on.
Oh, man.
We got some rules changes in the NFL. You hit the Preakness again. I mean, a ton of stuff goes going on, man.
I was with the legend Monday down at the SEC tournament. He went on and made just a fantastic appearance with Paul Feinbaum. It was great to be on the set there. And what they've done at the Hoover Met for this tournament, the ballpark looks fantastic, Tony. It's big time. Birmingham should have all the big SEC events. If we just would have built a bigger stadium, we could have had the football, the basketball, and the baseball. But it's a great thing for Birmingham because salute to everybody involved with the SEC and the city of Hoover because that stadium was awesome.
Last year's championship game brought 15,800 fans. It was the third largest crowd they'd ever had behind two crowds that were larger. Of course, a guy named Michael Jordan was playing baseball for the Birmingham Barons at that point in time. But they have done a nice job, and I think they built it out to the point where if they did want to add some seating, and they certainly did out in the right center areas, they could certainly do that. But it is just a crown jewel, and Hoover does a fantastic job from promoting and self-promoting everything. Everywhere you go to the mall, you go anywhere else, they're promoting. And, of course, the big seals that are off the interstates as well. The big painted seals is pretty cool, too. So
yeah, absolutely.
They've done a great job. Your thoughts on the tush push? I know it needed to get I know it needed to get a majority, 75%.
Yeah.
It didn't. It got fired up a little bit. I'm to the point where if you want to stop me, then stop me. So I was all for it. And obviously Philadelphia got that whole thing started. But it appears it's going to be another year of the tush push. It's a go.
Yeah, I don't like the rule. I think it's really kind of anti what football always was for all the years I've been around. Back in the day, it was a penalty if any other player assisted the player with the ball in any way. Mm-hmm. If he just bumped into him and propelled him forward, it was a flag.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, to just go completely the other way. And let's face it, what they're authorizing with the tush push, or you can push anything you want on this guy. You can get down low and drive him on his back of his thighs into the end zone. Mm-hmm. But the problem with that is they're playing rugby then, Tony, not football. If you watch rugby, when everybody gets in the scrum and everything, it's everybody pushing one way so the guy with the ball can advance the ball. If I wanted to watch rugby, I'd go down in Mountain Brook and watch the guys here in the Birmingham Rugby Club every Saturday. I want to watch a football game. The tush push is not football.
Yeah. You ask any athlete in the NBA or Major League Baseball, and they'll say one of the highlights of their life was getting a gold medal. Now, players in the National Football League will have their shot. But will they do it? Will Patrick Mahomes want to play in the 2028 Summer Olympics?
And the Summer Olympics is not for football, it's for flag football.
Yes.
So do you really want to see an NFL superstar playing flag football?
You don't do tush pushes in flag football.
There will be no tush push there because if they're pushing your tush, they're going to knock your flag out and you're down. I played flag football once in my 20s, and I just didn't find it even entertaining at all because you're chasing a guy, and if you can overtake him, you still have to have the dexterity to get your hands on his flag and rip it out of his belt to stop the play. I just think it's kind of a silly game. It's fun, I guess, for leisure, but an Olympic event? Come on.
We're always about college football around here.
It
cannot get here soon enough, but there are plenty of sports to go around. And, of course, you can watch us every Saturday morning here and hear about the latest. But with college football now this week, the NCAA versus House, it appears that we may have, and by the time this airs, it may be a done deal. Some really interesting inflections, though, in this particular case, because they're now asking a lot of the major colleges, the bigger ones from the Autonomy 4, that they can't sue, and that there's a lot of different things that we have to lay low. Basically, it says lay low until we can actually figure out what we're doing.
Well,
before we actually know what this rule is about and all these things, all these changes, before anyone starts going to get their favorite lawyer. But it's going to be really interesting to see what this looks like when it all hammers out.
We know one thing for sure: if this is instituted, instantly just about every major college program in the country is on the hook for about $20 million a year, minimal to start this, because what this suit was all about was athletes that had competed since the statute of limitations ran out on the poor people. I think the statute of limitations is 7 years. So anybody from when the suit was filed 2024 back to 2017 could sue and say, hey, I didn't get compensated when I was playing at, XYZ University. I feel bad for the people that played in 2016. They missed it by a year, so they get nothing and like it. But it's going to have some reverberation. It's probably going to limit walk-ons at a lot of schools, and there's been some great stories of guys that walked on and made it big. They're going to reduce rosters because with a $20 million hit to their program budgets.
And I think that's probably one of the biggest sticking points. You're talking roughly about 120 guys right now, 60 to 70 to 80 scholarships depending on what you have left. Now there's really no scholarship limitations. You can give everyone on the football team. Hell, you got like A&M paying every football player $20,000 next year. Scholarships don't really even exist as far as I know. That's why the walk-ons are
We're this close
gone.
to being professional football. And I know you visit with Mark Ingram every week on your great podcast. And so what is Mark's
The small
thoughts?
schools hate it. The small schools hate it. First of all, they're part of this payout. So, the money that they're supposed to be getting in, heck yeah, a lot of these bigger schools are making a lot more money, but yet they have to pay off. And they're actually going to be making more money than they're actually having to pay out. So they're going to be in the black every single year, even with these new rules. The smaller schools, the ones that aren't part of the four, they're not.
And UAB is trying to compete, and it's not a level playing field.
And what happens is at the end of the year, when they start writing the checks from the commissioners of the schools, and they send those checks in, basically when you get your check now, it's going to be like a waitress. You ever get a waitress, the Donald Trump's trying to do this thing where we're not going to be taxing tips, and you get your check and it's for $2.17. That's what it's going to be like for the small schools.
Oh, man. Unbelievable. Tony, a couple weeks ago on our K4 Wins podcast, which we'll talk about later in the show, we had a group discussion between yourself and me and Case and Kai Gregory about the beginning of the quarterfinal series in the Eastern Conference. It was Cleveland against Indiana, and it was New York against Boston. And our discussion that day, this is about 4 weeks ago, does either one of those teams, the Knicks or the Pacers, have a chance to win a single game in these series? Guess what? They won 4 games each and are now playing in the Eastern Conference Final. What were the odds of that?
Well, I'll tell you what the odds were. The series prices were so high, it was minus 2.5 games. You couldn't even put money on it.
That's insane.
Which was really surprising. And to win one, on the road was like, okay, that's kind of a surprise. It certainly changed the price a little bit. But the fact they pulled those wins out, and look at the 4 teams we got coming up. Again, I was just thinking the other day, we were watching some videos of the Toronto Raptors. The fact that Toronto won an NBA championship a few years ago to me is kind of a head scratcher. But look, we got the Indiana Pacers, who, by the way, I just absolutely love their style of play. It just makes me tired to watch it.
Man, do they score points.
I don't know if the Knicks can play 7 games at that rate, running up and down the floor. And I mean, these are in good shape, 20-year-olds. But yeah, it's just amazing, the 4 teams that are in the Final Four, and it's been great for the NBA. It really has been.
Yeah, and this Oklahoma City team that I've been amazed by all year, they've shown some growing pains being so young, but they survived the Nuggets series, which was a nice test for them. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team that I don't think anybody was really paying attention to, they're a dynamic team too, so this might be kind of a changing of the guard. This is the total transition of the NBA. How far have we gotten away from just 8 or 10 years ago? Everybody said the NBA is so boring. All they do is walk the ball down, dump it down to the big guy. He slings his rear end around trying to make some position, either drops in a 3-footer or gets fouled. That's what the game had descended to. The game is nothing like that now. It's run, gun, fire it up from everywhere.
What I was afraid of was when we started making these mega deals and having 2 or 3 superstars on the same squads. I'm like, okay, now it's going to be really top heavy, and really it's just done kind of the opposite. Now you get to the point where almost every single team out there, even the worst teams in the NBA, have a superstar on them, making max money. And when you're looking at a team like the Lakers, where you have 2 or 3 different guys, or look at some of these other teams like Golden State, they got 2 or 3 different guys. You're talking about a chemistry situation. You got to have guys that can actually play basketball together. That's why sometimes when you see the Olympics, you can put 5 of the best guys in the world on the floor. It doesn't mean they're going to win.
Yeah. I know all of us enjoy Major League Baseball. The Not a sprint, a marathon, 162 games. We are getting into the Memorial Day weekend, and got some thoughts on that I want to convey in our last segment today. But Major League Baseball is interesting as well. Between the hosts of this show, yourself, me, and the Legend, you're a Reds guy, I'm a Braves guy, Legend's an Orioles guy. It is tough to be a baseball fan this year if your allegiance are to those three teams.
Yep.
They are so hot and cold and up and down. And Legend, with high expectation for his Orioles this year, they sit at 16-32 right now. I mean, who could see all this coming?
I mean, and then you got teams like Detroit is playing really well.
Oh, the best record in baseball.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now.
you just got a couple teams that you just nice to see that. The Cincinnati Reds, every time they get to 500, they lose. I don't know what it is. Next time they get to 500, I think they're a game or two under 500 right now. Every time they get to 500, they're going to lose that next game. They can't appreciate being above 500. I know for the Braves, it is a long season, thank goodness. So you can go through really bad streaks. They started the season off really bad. Baltimore Orioles banged up. That's just a head scratcher for me.
They can't get anybody out. They have no
can't.
Pitchers. They signed 41-year-old Charlie Morton from the Braves to a $12 million contract. The day that happened, I told Legend, he doesn't get anybody out anymore. What the hell are they thinking?
So much for the torpedo bats too. That doesn't appear to be setting any records for the New York Yankees. I know everyone was like, "Whoa, they just hit 13 bombs. Must be the torpedo." It's okay. It's going to work itself out.
This weekend, Memorial Day weekend, the Dodgers are in New York to play the Mets. That's going to be a real high-level series. The Dodgers, everybody's saying, well, they got by far the highest payroll. They're going to be ridiculous. Well, they're ridiculous, but they're 31-19. They're not exactly setting the world on fire. The Detroit Tigers today have a better record than the Dodgers with a payroll that's like, I don't even know how to even express it, millions and millions of dollars less.
Legends on the way up, as well as Case Keefer, his heaters from the desert. This is the starting lineup.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where a spin could turn dreams into reality. Meet Sammy F., who just won over $70,000. And Orlando P., hitting the jackpot with a whopping $100,000. Feel the thrill of winning and join the dance of champions.
Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! I'm a winner! I'm a winner! Woo! And you can be a winner too!
Your chance to be the next big winner is here at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Oh, it's the Legend from the Paul Feinbaum Show. Here on the starting lineup this Saturday morning. It ain't the Pink Panther. It ain't Hong Kong Philly, baby. It's the Legend. They call me the Pink Panther of sports, baby. Hey, listen to me. You're asking yourself right now, Legend, what's up with the Black Hat? What's going on today? Well, something you didn't know is I am president of the Black Hat Club. It is a national-wide club, and what the Black Hat Club is, it is recognizing individuals that are unique, that are different. Ronnie Van Zant's a Black Hatter. Clint Eastwood's a Black Hatter. John Wayne, Paul Feinbaum, Dick Saban, Taylor Hicks. You got that. It's just that you are a unique individual. You are different, and we recognize that difference. Now, this season, before football season, the Black Hat Club will be coming to the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, and you will get an opportunity to be a part of the Black Hat Club. We go nationwide like ZZ Top, baby, be a part of the most unique club in the whole nation. And today, you are privileged to see 3 members swore in. First of all, Tony Kurre had to leave early, so we are bringing Tony Kurre, a radio legend right here in Birmingham, Alabama. He is the newest member of the Black Hat Club. Welcome in, Tony Kurre. And also today, ladies and gentlemen, coming in now to the scene, it is the great Monty Bauer coming in. Yes, Monty Bauer, right there he is. Welcome to the Black Hat Club, brother.
I'm happy to be here in the cave.
Man, look at Bear, man. Look at it, oh, Bear. Look at my trophies over there. Look at my trophies, man. Welcome to the Black Hat Club. This is one of the most powerful men in Birmingham. If you need any kind of advertisement, any kind of advice and advertisement, Monty Bauer is the man, baby. He was on Ballers on HBO with The Rock. He's the man, baby. We appreciate you. Welcome to the club, baby. Welcome to the club. Now for my man that needs no introduction, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes. I'm talking about President Trump. When you mention this name, you will recognize it right away. Keefer, ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the Black Hat Club.
I've never been called Ric Flair before.
Woo! Woo! Right there it is, the newest member of the Black Hat Club.
Oh,
How does it feel to be in the Black Hat Club?
I can't wait to shop for my black hat. I never owned one.
Man, that's good. This is the Black Hat Club, as I told you to start with. It's just a club that recognizes unique individuals. We are square blocks that don't fit into a round hole. And if you feel like you're that type of individual, you're going to get an opportunity for a football season to be in the Black Hat Club with the great Keefer, Monty Bauer, Tony Kurre, and the legend. We bring it to the Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Man, it's getting crazy down there. It's like Las Vegas down there in that casino. Keep telling them about it, baby.
It's going to be awesome. We're going to have happy hour parties to kick off every football week. And we'll announce the time and place, but it's going to be at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino. If you want to be on TV, want to be part of the starting lineup, that's your ticket to become famous in your neighborhood and amongst your peers. We're also going to have, as Legend said, expand the Black Hat Club. If you want to be a member of the coolest club in Birmingham, this is your opportunity. So we'll have more details as we get closer to the season, but we're going to gather every week at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino to kick off the weekend with a huge happy hour party and exclusive opportunity for you to be on the starting lineup.
Yes, it's going to be crazy. The starting lineup is blowing up. We are, baby, the golden boys of sports radio. Monty Bauer, Tony Kurre, Keefer, the legend. We're all square blocks that didn't fit in a round hole, baby. But when we put it together, we a super team, baby. The golden boys. Be a part of it this coming year. It's going to be a year like no other, baby. You think I'm hyped? You ain't seen nothing yet as we get closer to September. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. I hear you, Bear. Calm down. It's still early, baby. Hey, I heard this week that Ty Simpson is going to be the man down there. Kip, we got about 30 seconds. What do you think of Ty Simpson?
Yeah, I think Ty Simpson has earned his spot. He had a big challenge from the kid coming in from Texas, Russell. He's fought off that challenge. He's going to be the starter. And we're going to see in Tallahassee how Ty is going to get them off to a quick start this year.
You better, Ty, because remember, I don't play losing to Florida State. Hey, remember, it's just a game. Don't be like the Black Hat Club. Sports insane.
Talk about Kai Gregory in the show as part of our 4K wins. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But he gets after it at Southern Precision Staffing. They're a staffing company. They're looking for skilled workers. If you're like a welder, someone that loves to build things, carpentry, stuff like that, they've always got a job for you. Great staffing company, SPS, Southern Precision Staffing, 205-682-2828, 205-682-2828. I know he was at the AC/DC concert earlier this week in Nashville, Tennessee, so he may be scratching his head a little bit himself. He took his 10-year-old boy up there, but check out Southern Precision Staffing. Also, we were supposed to have Seth Cosby here from Sasquatch Toys and Comics. He is just blowing and going down there in Homewood.
He's got nobody to mind the store.
He doesn't. He wants to be near that cash register right now. They've got some great deals down there. Comics from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. All kinds of toys still in the box. Vintage stuff. Go to your attic. If you find some things, they buy, sell, and trade. And, of course, the Comic-Con is going to be coming to Birmingham coming up next weekend. So all kinds of great stuff going on. Sasquatch Toys and Comics right there in beautiful Homewood.
You know, sports betting is a lot of fun, Tony, but sports betting when you win, a hell of a lot more fun.
No wife ever gets angry when the guy's gambling every weekend, but he's coming home with extra cash. She gets angry when you lose the mortgage.
And that's such a great segue because one of my favorite gambling movies is Richard Dreyfuss and the late Terry Garr in Let It Ride.
Yep.
And he has the dream day of his life at the track, and she comes and wants all the money.
Yeah.
Give me the money. And he's, oh, no. And they finally says, I finally figured it out. It's not my gambling that you hate, it's my losing.
Yeah. That is so true. Well, we got K4 wins. We've been doing it for over a year. We take the four of us. You actually posted some SEC baseball this week.
Yes.
We do women's bat. We do whatever has got value. If it's got value, it's got something good. You can put a bet on it.
We just want to win. We're not biased.
We want to win. We're hitting somewhere between 67, 68% all year long. So go to K4wins.com, K4wins.com. Check out the website. It's absolutely free. And you can subscribe, see some good reading from you as well. So check out K4wins.com.
Hey, it's Case Keefer back again for another edition of the Vegas Heaters as part of the starting lineup. I am a longtime sports bettor, sports betting writer, and assistant sports editor at Greenspun Media and Las Vegas Sun. Coming off of a down week, unfortunately, for only the second time of the last 6 majors, we do not cash an outright winner here on the show. Scotty Scheffler was just too good. I really wish I would have taken my own advice from when I gave the first bet months ago on here, right after the Masters on the PGA. I said I was trying to get these longer guys because then maybe I would slide Scotty in at the end. Ultimately went against him because I didn't love that he hadn't played Quail Hollow. Thought maybe it wasn't the perfect course set up for him, but turned out to be he's just by far the best player in the world. We've already got him at plus 550, luckily now, to win the U.S. Open next month, which I think is great value because I really think it's going to be him or Bryson DeChambeau, who we also bet at 13-1. So hopefully one of those two guys in the U.S. Open. Apparently I haven't learned my lesson because I'm against Scotty again this week at the Charles Schwab Challenge. I took a lot of the guys right behind him. I mean, he is by far the most likely winner, but he's closing less than 2-1 at some sports books at the time of recording. That's just a little too much for me, so I went with the Daniel Bergers, the Tommy Fleetwoods, the Siwoo Kim, JT Poston, you name that next range. I took the best price I could find on all of them. Aaron Rye, there's another one. Davis Riley, I took a bunch of those guys. We'll see how that turns out. But that's actually not what I wanted to talk about today. I got off on a tangent, of course, but this is a low-key great sports betting weekend, especially if you like some of the niche fringe sports. Obviously, we can't talk about all of them, but you know that's a lot of what I'm betting. And the biggest thing this weekend, you know if you're into it what it is such a huge racing weekend. 3 of the biggest races of the year, all within like a 12-hour span. The Monaco Grand Prix, into the Indianapolis 500, into the Coca-Cola 600. Now, since I started betting racing seriously, which hasn't really been that long, only about 5 years, kind of around COVID times, it's really been a dream of mine to hit all 3 of these outright on the same day, the triple, I would call it. I have come close a couple times. I know 2 years ago I hit 2 of them. Max Verstappen, although he was like minus 195 at the time of winning every F1 race, so that didn't really mean anything, but paired with Ryan Blaney. So I got 2. I don't think I've ever hit the Indianapolis 500. Hopefully we can check that off the box this week and I can hit all 3. So I thought I'd just spit them all out right here and say my favorite outright for each of the 3 races at the time of recording. I know a lot can change, especially in F1 with the practices, the qualifying. So you're going to have more information when you're watching this. The odds will probably change, but I thought I would go ahead and give my overview. Now, to be honest, I don't bet the sport all that much. I basically dip my toe in twice a year. This Monaco race, because it's such a big racing day, and then when they're here in Las Vegas. I have had some success, though, and in Monaco, to me, it's all about who is going to qualify the best, who is going to get the lead. It is so hard to pass. No one passes here. I've heard some chatter that some rule changes, the pit stops are going to make it a little different this year, maybe a longer shot going. I'm going to have to see it to believe it. To me, Oscar Piastri has been the best driver in F1 this year. His McLaren Mercedes team has been the best team, and they set up the best on Monaco. I think he is far and away most likely to qualify the best. I think he's won the pole half the time now. You can get him as high as plus 195 at the time of recording. I think it's more 50-50 if Piastri is starting on the pole. And if he's 50-50, this should be close to even money. So we're going a little chalk to start, but I'm going with Oscar Piastri plus 195. Not quite as chalk in the Indianapolis 500. I'm going with the second choice, not the first choice. Unfortunately, I should have shared this weeks ago, as I got a much better price on this guy. I don't know what some of the sports books were thinking. I have bet this guy every year since I've been betting the Indianapolis 500. He's never come through, but he is hitting his peak this year, dominating IndyCar if you pay attention, which, to be honest, I don't a whole lot. I pay a little bit more attention than F1. Every once in a while, I'll dip in and bet it. But Alex Palou has just been the guy to be on. He wins every race, the best driver, the best talent in the IndyCar series right now. I think he gets it done. I think he checks off the Indianapolis 500. I know he's only 6-1 was the best I could find at sportsbooks right now. He's a little bit behind Pato O'Ward, who's dominated here, but I like him a little bit better. I just feel like it's his year. Again, I got a double, a price that was twice as good, but if I had to nail down one guy, I haven't bet any other outright bets right now, so it's got to be Alex Palou. And then finally, we get to Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600, one of the crown jewels on the NASCAR schedule. To me, handicapping this all comes down to what you think about Kyle Larson, who is starting in the Indianapolis 500 later in the day, doing the double, flying down, trying to be in the Coca-Cola 600. Look, he should be the favorite in this race. He is the favorite. He's plus 550 as high as. That's a little high, though, if you go based on what he's done on these intermediate tracks this year. By far the best driver, wins everything. However, I do think it takes a toll, locking up that many miles. I know these guys aren't running marathons or anything. There is a physical toll. He is probably not going to be there for driver introductions, which means he has to sit in the back. There's just a lot of variables that makes me not want to go with the plus 550, so I'm going with my next 2 favorites, both 9-1. You know, if you've listened to the show so far, I'm on William Byron in a bunch of these 1.5 mile tracks. He hasn't won yet this year on one of those, but I'm going William Byron 9-1 and Tyler Reddick very similar to Kyle Larson in a lot of ways at 9-1. I think we've lost the last 2 NASCAR outrights I've given, but we started with Christopher Bell at COTA. He was 12-1, so we're still in the black easily for a while here. Let's go with Byron or Reddick. Best race weekend to you, best betting weekend to you. Thanks for checking in on another edition of the Vegas Heaters.
You can find starting lineup right here. We do a lot of crazy things on this show. Not only you never know who's going to be on the show, we have a lot of great guests, and we will have more guests, including Feinbaum. We're going to have James Spann. We're going to have all the regulars, Taylor Hicks. We've had Damon Johnson. So as we get closer to college football season, we're going to have all that going on right here at the starting lineup. So continue to watch every Saturday morning.
Yeah,
It's
next
awesome.
Saturday, don't forget, we're going to have Brent Pinkston on, who's the Chief Operating Officer for the Porch Band of Creek Indians, who just bought the Birmingham Race Course. We're going to find out why they wanted to acquire the track here in the casino. And yes, and we're going to find out what their plans are, and they've got some very good plans to make this a real entertainment jewel here in Birmingham.
I'm really excited about that. I know you've been with that organization for a long period of time. I was out there when Guns N' Roses was playing on turn 3 and turn 4.
That was legendary.
And I never forget, they went up to the Guns N' Roses and said, listen, a lot of the long shots are coming in tonight. We were wondering if you could stop playing every 10 minutes so the horses could run their race.
Yeah, I love the Monty Ballard angle on that, one of our great executive producers here, always involved in the show. Charlie McIntosh, who was the general manager at the track at the time, booked that event for Guns N' Roses in the infield of the giant space available there at the track. And when he told Monty's reaction was, do you know anything about Guns N' Roses? Are you insane? Charlie had no idea.
It poured down rain. We went out there the next day to pick everything up, and there were like 18,000 pairs of red pumps stuck in the mud.
I'm telling you, if you go out there to this day and dig around a little, you can find underwear, purses, shoes. It is a great sight to go excavate.
Don't know if your Indian pals, the new owners of the Birmingham Race Course and Casino, are going to have Guns N' Roses back, but it is.
Come on, Axel, one more time.
It is certainly going to be really exciting to see what they do with the place, because it is a first-class place, and a lot of people just, every time the horses come running, it seems like every 10 to 15 years, and I know that takes a lot of money. People get really excited for it. Certainly the dogs as well, but it's a first-class facility.
Yeah, and it's going to even be more because they've got big plans for Birmingham, a lot of new construction, a lot of new attractions. So we'll look forward to hearing from Brent next week. Tony, it's Memorial Day weekend, and I always want to talk about that just a little bit here. I hope everybody will take some time to remember those Americans and the heroes, men, women, that gave their last full measure of devotion, as Abraham Lincoln calls it, so we can live in this free country, this free society with our individual liberties, the most audacious experiment in the history of the world in terms of government. It kind of drives me crazy a little bit that people get confused the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And let me say this. All 365 days a year, it should be Veterans Day.
No doubt.
We need to appreciate anybody who went and fought for us and come back and pat them on the back and thank them every day. But Memorial Day is for those who didn't come back. It's to remember people that gave everything so we could live in this free society. And I hope everybody will take a minute of observance today. Memorial Day was started by Abraham Lincoln at the right after the Gettysburg engagement in 1864. And it is a very significant day that all of us need to take a minute and appreciate the sacrifice that so many great people gave to all of us.
Well said, and amen, and God bless everyone in our armed forces for all the fine work and wonderful things you do for us. Starting lineup every Saturday morning. We're back at you next Saturday right here at 10:30 on ABC 3340.